Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We're alive. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you can see and hear me clearly, please drop a one in the live chat, and then we can get today's show started. And as I'm waiting for the ones to come into the live chat, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And now that I know you can see and hear me clearly, let's get today's show started. I came across this story about a week ago. I want to say about a week ago, but I didn't hear anyone really speak on this. I don't know, maybe if I just missed it, but this definitely did not get the attention that it deserves. So here we are now, breaking news. Since no one else wants to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Ron DeSantis slams Pennsylvania for not being able to guarantee final results on election night. Yes, the state of Pennsylvania, the coveted battleground state, the coveted swing state of Pennsylvania, put out an official statement letting you know ahead of time that, hey, we're not guaranteeing you same day results, okay? We're not guaranteeing you same day results at all. If that's what you were expecting, don't expect that over here. Don't expect it over here. Let the foolishness begin. Let it begin. Let it begin. The article reads as such. I want to get into this article. I want to get into what some of what Ron DeSantis had to say, and then I want to get into some other information surrounding Florida and Pennsylvania and the claims that Ron DeSantis made. Governor Ron DeSantis said Sunday that if Florida can deliver voting results on election night, there's no reason this cannot be done in every state in America, including Pennsylvania. Florida elections have millions more votes cast than in Philadelphia elections or Pennsylvania elections. Yet we count voters and report the results on election night and do so in an efficient and transparent manner, DeSantis posted on X Sunday. There is no reason why this cannot be done in every state in America. DeSantis was responding to an announcement from the Pennsylvania Department State that the results, DeSantis was responding to an announcement from the Pennsylvania Department of State that the results of the state's upcoming election may not be known on election night. Now, what I want to do is transition over to the actual tweet that Ron DeSantis was responding to. And this is what he was responding to here. And this comes from the Pennsylvania Department of State. I'll click on this here, and you can see that it reads, Pennsylvania won't always know the final results for all races on election night. Any changes in results that occur as counties continues to count ballots are not evidence that an election is participating in funny business, we'll say. See the full explanation at vote.pa.gov, right? And I have to self-censor because this is YouTube. You'd be shocked and astonished how sensitive YouTube is when it comes to anything surrounding election funny business, right? So even a word as simple as what you see in quotation marks there, you got to be careful when stating that. Now, in case anybody wants to say, this is some sort of a gag tweet, is fake news. A lot of people like false flag, fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. Here's the actual website here from pa.gov, fact-checking Pennsylvania related election claims. Once again, the same statement that they made in the tweet is what you see right here. It's a lot longer of a statement, not that much longer, but they're explaining a lot more in a little bit more detail. But once again, it states on their own website, Pennsylvania won't always know the final results of all races on election night. And any changes in results occur after election night are not, and they're making sure to highlight and underline, are not evidence that an election is participating in funny business. You can't make that claim that we're participating in funny business because we're letting you know now off top that, hey, man, things get complicated. And, we may or may not be able to get you the results the same day, that night, So just in case we're not able to do that, hey, man, relax. It just is what it is. Real quick, I want to shout out my man Saul for coming through as he always does. I appreciate you, bro. Saul said, if the reps want to become tyrannical with the Jim Crow 2.0, we have an amendment for it. Meanwhile, the Dems want to abolish 2A. Remember, Trump survived an assassination attempt, but the Dems call for stricter gun control. I appreciate you, bro, for coming through as you always do, Saul. Saul keeps my family fed because he always comes through with the super chats. I appreciate you, bro, for being the first person to contribute to today's stream, man. Thank you very much. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back and highlight what Ron DeSantis stated, because I had to look this up for myself very quickly, right? So what did Ron DeSantis say? Let's come back over here, because it really, once we establish this fact, it really highlights how foolish this is, what Pennsylvania state is saying. Ron DeSantis said Florida elections have millions more votes cast than in Pennsylvania elections, yet we count the votes and report the results on election night, and do so in an efficient and transparent manner. There is no reason why this cannot be done in every state in America. And I thought to myself, okay, well, let me look this up for myself. And I was able to find this on CNN for the 2020 election, right? So as you can see here, 2020 election, Florida. Trump won in Florida, as we all know. And for Trump, he received 5.6 million votes. Biden received 5.2 million votes. We're roughly looking at around just under 11 million votes. Just under 11 million votes in Florida, right? But when we cross over to Pennsylvania, let's see Pennsylvania. How many more votes does Florida get than Pennsylvania, to which Florida is still able to count these votes all in one night efficiently and deliver the results that night? So let's go down here. Let me find Pennsylvania. Here it goes, Pennsylvania. So like I said, roughly 11 million votes for Florida. Pennsylvania, let's zoom in a little bit. And Pennsylvania, we're looking at Biden, who won Pennsylvania in 2020, right? He won. On the night of the election, Trump was winning pretty handily on the night of. And then some time went by. And then surprise, surprise, 2020 magic, Biden wins Pennsylvania. But as far as the vote count is concerned, 3.4 million for Biden and 3.3 million for Trump. So we're looking at just under 7 million. We'll round it out and just say 7 million to 11 million. Florida, they cast, was that around 4 million more votes than Pennsylvania? 4 million more votes. And in Florida, they are able to count the ballots and deliver the results efficiently and effectively that night, on election night, with 4 million more votes to count. With 4 million more votes. But Pennsylvania is telling you, we can't do that. We can't do that. 7 million votes, that's just a little bit too difficult for us. We don't know how they're doing it in Florida. Kudos to them. But in Pennsylvania, might take a couple days. Oh, that is amazing. Let the foolishness begin. Let it begin. Let it begin. Now, I want to cross back over to the original article that I was reading from. There's a couple more points that I want to highlight over there. And then we're going to shut this thing down. So the article continues to read. And also, I'll leave the links to everything that you see on your screen now, and it is in the description box below, and it'll be pinned in the comment section as well once the stream ends. So you can read this stuff for yourself. But the article continues to read. The announcement for many brought to mind the 2020 election when initial results in Pennsylvania appeared to favor President Donald Trump as polls closed. Y'all remember that? However, as mail-in ballots were counted in the following days, plural, in the following days, Joe Biden was declared the winner in Pennsylvania. The prolonged counting process has frustrated some critics who argue that the state election results should be finalized and made public on or immediately following November 5th. Once again, if they're able to do it in Florida, where they're counting 4 million more votes, why they can't do it in Pennsylvania is besides me. The state remains one of the highly contested electoral college rich battleground states that could decide a presidential election in a close race. If a presidential winner hinges upon the decision in Pennsylvania, voters might have to wait several days to learn the outcome. That is completely ridiculous, nonsensical, and should be against the law. It should be against the law, but it isn't. But it isn't. The article continues to read in closing, and I quote, if the Electoral College comes down to Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, two highly contested battleground states, but if the Electoral College comes down to Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, we might still face a long period where we don't know the winner. I don't know. Explained Rachel Ori, an elections expert with the Bipartisan Policy Center. An election expert. She said if it comes down to Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, highly contested battleground states, you may or may not get the results that night. Who knows? Who knows? So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Timothy Taylor said, welcome to Venezuela. Pretty much the bulk of their population is here in the United States now, right? The bulk of them are here in the States now. We see what New York has turned into. Chicago is fast on its way. Denver, there's a lot going on over there that I haven't covered yet as far as the migrant crisis. I'm going to get around to it. And then we have this stuff here with Pennsylvania, as you can see on your screen right now. They're letting you know ahead of time. If you're expecting us to count these votes in one night, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And with all that being said, that does it for today's stream. Oh, this was a quick one. We got through this one just as quick and efficiently as Florida is able to count up its ballots on election night. That's how fast I got through this stream. That's how fast I got through this bad boy. Just as fast as Florida is able to count its ballots and give you the results on election night. Unlike Pennsylvania, who's letting you know, forget about it, bro. It's not going down like that. You could expect a couple of days to go by before we give you the results. Okay. So with all that being said, man, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and on Rumble. That is extremely important that you do that. Follow me on Telegram and Rumble at TD Media Group. Both the links to my Telegram and Rumble will be pinned in the description box below and in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. And until the next stream, peace and have a great afternoon.